Hi guys, my name is Christine, and today I'm talking about a simple process that you can use to achieve anything that you want. So, the most important thing before you start any kind of goal is to actually know what your goal is. So, first of all, you have to have some kind of goal, and it's better the more concise, the more precise that you are with whatever your goal is, the better. So, for example, it could be to earn a certain amount of money, it could be to gain a certain amount of followers or subscribers. It could be a certain amount of like hits on your website, like how much traffic you get in, something very specific. Now, of course, as you go along, you can change your goal and all that kind of stuff. But the most important thing is that you have something that is measurable. So things like followers, that's measurable. Something like hits to your website, how much traffic you're gaining, that is also very measurable. Another thing that's measurable is, subscribers on YouTube, money. And also another thing that's measurable is like, for example, muscle mass or fat loss. That's something that's measurable. You can, or just your weight in general. You can easily measure your weight. So you want to have a measurable goal. And then basically what you want to do when you have that goal is you kind of need to, write it at the top of a piece of paper or a Word document or a memo on your phone and kind of reverse engineer basically the steps that you need to take. So you need to get clear on what it is that you need to, the steps that you need to take. So for example, if you're trying to get 10,000 subscribers on your YouTube channel, then your first goal might be to get your first 100 subscribers. That might be one of your little steps that gets you to that 10,000, something along those lines. Of course, when it comes to weight loss goals and things like that, then obviously it might be how many workouts you do, or it could be like just losing 1 pound that week. Or something like that, something that you can easily measure. And as long as you keep on doing these small little things and getting these small goals ticked off, you are making progress, and you then know that you're making progress. So another thing that's really important that will help you achieve basically any goal that you set for yourself and achieve anything that you want is if you actually, make the effort to set aside time to work on these goals, because you might be someone who's very busy. You might have a job, you might have kids, you might have other things that take up a lot of your time. So it's important then to find what time you can to fit it in. And that might be waking up an hour extra earlier. It might be staying awake an extra hour. So you got to, find basically the motivation to do this. And if you are struggling with finding time and finding motivation to actually do the things that you feel like you should be doing, then I highly recommend that you watch this video on motivation. I'm sure some of you have probably already watched it already if you are frequent viewers of mine. But if you are struggling with motivation, getting yourself to do stuff, then I highly recommend that you watch that video. So if you can't find, let's say, that extra hour to do things, perhaps you're already, really, really tight with, how your time is and stuff. Then one of the things that you can do is actually record what you do throughout the day. Like, let's say for about a week, you record what you do every single day and see how much time is wasted. Like, for example, if when you get home, you're spending at least 2 hours watching Netflix or something like that, then, you've got 2 hours there. I mean, you don't need to watch Netflix. I mean, sure, it's good to chill out. But, even if you can't, live without your Netflix, you can at least, how about compromise and say, I'll watch 1 hour of Netflix and the other hour I will work on my goals. I'll exercise or whatever it is that your goal is. You've got to find the time. You've got to kind of sacrifice some of the other things. Like, how much time do you spend just scrolling on social media? How many times do you just spend like just checking your emails? How much time do you spend, just, chatting with people on the phone? Of course, it's important to keep your bonds and to keep your relationships going, but you don't need to spend excessive amounts of time, just talking about rubbish. I'm not saying that all of your phone calls that you're making when you talk to your loved ones is rubbish, but you got to notice the amount of time you spend on just talking about things that don't matter, and just kind of cut it down to things that truly matter. That's important. So getting out those I love yous, talking about the important things as opposed to just chatting about nothing or gossiping or something like that. But fundamentally, it's all about trying to find little ways how you can cut back on other things in your life that don't matter so you can work on the things that do matter. For example, your side business, growing your followers, whatever it may be for you. You've got to be able to find that time if you don't have time currently. Another thing that you can do, which is really, really easy, and can help you accelerate faster so you can achieve your goals faster, is to find people that have already achieved what you want. So if it's like a weight loss thing or an exercise thing, find someone who has done the thing that you need to do. So for example, if you're trying to lose weight, find someone who is, like you, who has lost the weight and has kept it off. Someone who's like perhaps the same height as you, perhaps got the same kind of metabolism as you, or something like that. You can find loads of people on the internet who have achieved the things that you want to achieve. Basically, all you have to do is just find out their method, give it a go. If it starts working, then continue to use that working method. And if it doesn't work, then you find someone else, because perhaps there's a little something that they're doing that won't work for you. Because, for example, we all have different side effects to different food that we eat. Some people really thrive and lose tons of weight on a carnivore diet. Other people lose tons of weight from just being a vegetarian, being a vegan. It all depends on your body and what you can do. So you might need to experiment a little while to find out the right method. And that kind of thing can be applied to pretty much everything. It can be applied to a business, finding someone who has created the same kind of business as what you want and then model them. Of course, you have to be original, but you can still take on board their tips and their methods of what they've done, as long as your content and the things that you're creating is original and they are, your own experiences and thoughts and things like that. So obviously you don't want to be like a cardboard copy of someone else. You want to be the best version of yourself, but you can use other people's models. So basically you're taking their system, modifying it to make something completely original and yours and unique. And the last thing that I want to talk about that can help you achieve anything is to keep a track of your progress. So for example, you hear about like bodybuilders and stuff like that. They kind of measure, they kind of record down basically their measurements. They record down how much they're able to lift, things like that. As someone who has 2 YouTube channels, the best way for me to measure my own progress is to look on my analytics and to see how many views I've got, how many subscribers, how many commenters, how many comments have I got that week, how many there's loads of different ways that you can measure your progress. And, it's the same if you have a website, you can measure your analytics on your website. If you have clients, then you can measure how many clients you got that month or how many prospects, it could be even how many potential clients that you've nearly got, something like that. If you haven't really got to that level yet where people are actually wanting to get whatever it is from you, wanting to be your client. So just having that as a goal could be something, but you need to be able to measure it, which is why I said it's probably better to go from, earning a certain amount of money or having a certain amount of clients or weighing a certain amount of subscribers to your email newsletter or subscribers on your YouTube channel, because those things are easily measurable. And once you've conquered those things, you can, make a better goal, you can make a higher goal, but it has to be something measurable. And when it's something measurable, it's so much easier to be able to track your progress and to see if you're actually getting better, right? And if you realize that you're not getting better and it's not working out, and you've given yourself, a plenty amount of time, because I've said this previously, it's like there's no point going to the gym for one day and expecting to lose 20 pounds, because that's not going to happen. You're just going to eat one salad and wonder why you're not thin. It's not that sort of thing. You have to give yourself obviously an appropriate amount of time, but obviously that depends on the context of what you are personally trying to achieve. But it's important that if there's enough time has gone by, you can see that things aren't working, then you need to change your approach a little bit. It could be that you find a new model that you can help accelerate your growth. You find someone else who has done the things that you've wanted to do, realize that the other method, the other system isn't working, so you're going to try someone else's system and see if that works out for you. If it's like a weight loss thing, you might be trying a different kind of diet, or you might be trying to find a different workout regime, whatever it may be. But the point is that you give yourself enough time to realize if this is actually working for you, and then changing your approach, changing whatever it is that you're doing, shaking it up a bit to see if you can make a difference that way. And that is what I believe, a simple process that you can use to help you achieve anything. Now, of course, these aren't like massive results that you're going to see straight away, but it is something that can really, really put you on the path to make progress and for you to get better. And if you keep on working at it and you find time to actually do the things that you know you need to do, you will get there eventually. You just have to keep on being persistent, keep on going, keep on working at it, keep on grinding through, shall we say, and you will get there. So thank you so much for watching, and I shall talk to you again very soon. Goodbye.